I'm Shfiq Qureshi. I have undertaken an endeavor in which I want to communicate to the people of the entire world, regardless their background, whatever is their background, whichever the country they belong to. This message is equally important for all and can be easily understandable to all the people, regardless their educational background. A person who is educated or uneducated can easily understand my message, which is very, very real and based upon reality. Even a person with common understanding can understand my message. I'm not going to become formal. I would remain informal in my communication and communicating this sort of message. Number one thing, we must believe in one thing, we must understand one thing, that this entire universe was created by some divine power, by some power called the divine power. And that divine power introduced or sent an eternal code of life. And this message was sent through the messengers. And this code is entirely practical. And the fundamental purpose of this code is to fight against injustice. And you understand, this code is absolutely against or detest, abhors, hates certain things. For example, arrogancy. This is absolutely rejected by this code of universal code of life. Arrogance. Then comes selfishness. Then greed, jealousy, proudness. You see that this arrogancy, selfishness, greed, jealousy, and proudness, these are the things from where everything shoots up, comes out, emerge. So you see that all the problems which exist in this world, they are just because of these things. Oh, you see that this code of life is based upon practicality only. We talk about love, but we don't talk about our duties, practical duties, which we have to perform physically and mentally. So somebody says, I love this country, I love my country, but what we practically do in that country? We accept the bribes, we give losses to our country. We don't understand what is the, do we honestly perform our duty? Are we free of greed? Are we free of jealousy? Are we free of selfishness? Are we free of arrogancy? You see that these things are quite prevalent everywhere, in every nation, in all the countries of the world. So how can we say that I love my country or I love that person, but practically we are unable to do that thing? So you see that don't believe what one says unless the person practically performs the things. Not only practically doing the things, but on the basis of righteousness, deeds of righteousness. You see that most of the things we do in our routine life. For example, there are different fields. The fields of singing, acting, different other fields, or we have different sorts of habits. We are under the influence of different sorts of habits. So all these things ultimately driven us towards the shame. We regret at the end. But this, if we just strictly follow this code of life, you can't get any chance in your life that you will feel regretful, or you feel remorseful, or you will feel All the fields of life, ultimately the people feel that we have done something wrong. If they really have the real conscious, so they feel that they have done something wrong. So they feel shameful, regretful, accept the things which are done according to this universal code of life. This would not give you any sort of embarrassment in your future to come. So most of the people think that they have developed just manufacturing of the arsenals, manufacturing of the weapons doesn't mean that any country has developed. The country is developed. That country helps the countries who are not, who who have who are not prospered, or who are suffering from so many troubles and tortures. So the development is not just the arsenals. You see that industrial revolution when took place in this world, in the European countries, in the America, you see that what happened in that. So all these things are rubbish. The actual thing which has been introduced by nature to the people is agriculture. What was the outcome of the industrial revolution? In the industrial revolution, what happened? The chimney sweeper, you see the examples of chimney sweepers. The small kids, they were just employed, and just they were given one thing, that you would get the place to sleep, you will get the food, but you have to sweep the chimneys. So they were employed there, and they were taken into the chimneys. They had to enter into the chimney just to remove the smoke inside from the chimneys. So was this the industries? This is different industry. What the industry has done? We say that the country has been developed, and so they are just going to the Mars, and they are just trying to find out the water, whether the water is present in the Mars or not. So we don't find that the water is present in this world or not. There are different places in this world where people are unable to get the basic necessities. We are going to Mars. What a rubbish. So instead of thinking about the problems of the people, or the problems of the people who are inhabit in this land, so we just think that we have progressed. So matches are arranged, movies are made. So the purpose of the movies is only to betray the people. The purpose of the singing is just to betray the people. So this doesn't carry any worth at all. The real worth is to help. So these movies are made, and the actors or the actresses, they don't belong to the noble families. Actually, they have projected that they are the noble families, they are from the noble family. Not as a matter of fact, they are not the people from the noble families. In India, for instance, we see that the actors and the actress, I call them the loafers. They are the loafers, Loafer. They are the loafers. What they do, they just make the movies and betray the children, and they betray the youngsters. The singing of the songs, and they are thoroughly been rewarded in terms of money, and this caused a lot of disillusionments among the people who really want to do something good in life. What's the purpose of arranging the matches? Matches are arranged, and months are wasted in that activity. And again, what the players, what they do, they gamble, they deceive the people. And this is the fault of the people, why they go for the entertainments. You see that in many countries, the stage performances, people go for the uh, comedies. Comedies are performed, and these people are not the good people. Why we go for the kind of comedies when in different parts of the world And particularly in the third world countries, the people are passing through the destitutions. They are passing through the distressed possible situation, and we just go for the useless activities. We just go for the useless activities. Real deep, just it's just giving ourselves. We just betray or we just deceive ourselves that we are enjoying ourselves and we are just watching these movies. I tell you that these people who are taking part, their children, they allow them to pass into the nefarious activities. One actor, when his children offsprings, his offsprings or her offsprings, they are dancing, naked dancing. What the hell is it? I'm not a rigid person. Please don't think that I'm a rigid person. I'm not really a rigid person. I just talk about the things which are real. So the real life is not developing the industries. So intellectuals or educationists, they say that we are the educationists, they are the intellectuals. How we can call them intellectuals? How can we call them educationists when they are not doing anything in practical? So all the things, just speaking for 2 hours or 3 hours is just nothing. Unless a person is practically doing the things, no matter what kind of person is his. So everything depends or based upon the practicality, what practically one does. So troubles, I tell you the truth. We feel that in serving the others, there's a lot of trouble. I tell you that when we serve other, the troubles which we take in serving the other are far, far lesser than the troubles which take in giving the trouble to the people. In reducing or removing the troubles of the people, the pain which we take, that is far, far lesser as compared to the pain that we take to give the trouble to the people. So people don't understand. And actually, this life is based upon the sacrifice. So these movies or games and music, I don't say that you should not play any game. We should play, but their style of playing the game and the movies and the music is absolutely rubbish. They're just entertaining shows. They betray other people and they just enhance vulgarity, nothing else. So you can enjoy life in plenty of other ways. Actually, the basic thing, according to this code of life, the basic thing that has been entrusted upon the people is to cultivate the land and just grow the things. So instead of industrial revolution, if we just bring agricultural revolution, you see that even no person in this world would remain poor. But why industries are being discouraged and the useless activities are being enhanced and they are just given sustenance? So in this entire world, in this drama is going on, you see that first of all a trouble is created and then solution is presented. First, a disease is introduced in the world, and then the remedy of the disease is also introduced. So most of the people, for years, they live in peace. They are living in peace. We appreciate Alexander. We call him Alexander the Great. Why we call him Alexander the Great? What he has done except killing the people, destroying the people. There were the people or there were the communities who were living in peace and they were struggling and they were working day in and day and night. They just came. Alexander with his force came and attacked upon those people and destroyed the entire communities and took over the charge of that community. What do we call him Alexander? What did he do? He was just trying to satisfy his vanity. He was a mentally abnormal person. He collected some certain number of people of his own nature and they just left the place and they just started killing the people. So the people who were working and they had invented a lot of things. So he immediately destroyed all those things, and this is what happened. So uh, these troubles, you see that we hardly talk about many seminars, and so many things are being arranged for certain fields of life. But do we arrange the seminars or symposias about the so many crimes which take place in the world, that how they could be controlled? So I tell you that first of all, crimes are created, criminals are created, and then how to control those crimes. So later on they just give the solution that how to control the crimes. So how rubbish is it? So I say that in many countries, people lived for peace for plenty of years, for hundreds of years, for thousands of years. Then suddenly what happened? They start saying that we can't live together. So if we talk about the discrepancies, so even the discrepancies existed in the same house. The people who live under the same roof, so they have a lot of discrepancies. So, so yeah, this uh, yes, everything results in so. Now you see that we give too much value to learning. We keep on learning the books, and the person who has learned a lot of books is called a learned. Oh, please don't call such a person learned. A person who is not doing practically anything to remove the maladies of people, to remove the destitutions of the people, to remove the troubles of the people, who is not physically or mentally taking any part. So how can such people be called a learned person? People are obsessed with themselves and their problems only. Universal code of life is eternal system. It is for all times. It talks about the same culture. It means the culture is the same in the entire world. No matter which history we take, the culture is the same. So the culture, what the culture? The different ideas, the customs, and the social thinkings of the people, or the whatever we just and the social behavior of particular people, or the societies. This is called culture. So actually, there is just one culture, and that is just agriculture. Cultivate the land. It's not just production of the arsenals or the weapons. This is not the chief purpose of life. All the problems, you see that psychological problems are created in the people. And then we have a great field of psychology. All is rubbish. All the problems are sociological, socio-economical problems. We destroy the society. We destroy, we have created the wrong impression about about our system, or the wrong notion of the prosperity, or the people are obsessed, I said, with eternal. So very strange that in presence of sufferings, people are passing through, they just arrange the love shows, and they arrange the matches. Is it good to arrange the matches? Is it good to arrange the entertainment when in this country, not in one country, in the entire world, there are the people who are passing through the most troublesome conditions? Okay, so goodness actually multiplies goodness. None of the systems is final except this universal code of life, which I say. That is entirely based upon working for others, not producing the arsenals, not producing the weapons. Don't go for the artificial things. And original culture is actually the cultivation. It shows the same history. The same history prevails everywhere, all the time. In the past or in the present, in the future, there is the same history that people should cultivate the land, go for the, instead of talking about the Mars or the so many celestial bodies or the heavenly bodies. Why shouldn't we talk about the our heavenly duties which have been imposed upon us by this universal code of life to serve the people? Okay, all it is not actually writing dresses. Okay, I understand there are different places, there are different climates, or but the purpose of putting on the dresses, fundamentals are the same. Can you change the fundamentals? Everybody needs to eat, everybody wants to dress up, but in a very, very simple way, not in a gaudy manner. So, uh, most of the countries, they have just created very formal ways that when you enter into somebody's house, you just ask for the permission. It's a very strange thing. They have just created the code and established the codes, just codes of ethics. Is it the ethics to invade in some other country and capture that land without giving them the information that we are coming? So by force, they just invade that land and enter into somebody else's countries. So what is this ethic? It's all the drama which is going on. Try to understand the drama which have been concocted by certain nations, and they have just made all other countries in their hostage or under their control. So I see that diseases are being discussed, but they don't talk about the crimes. I understand that controlling the disease is very important, but I tell you, the first things are created, then they are just given the solution. So actually, most of the places we see that drama is enacted, mischievous activities going on, and the people who are in front, they are different. They don't even know who is in the background. So the people, they are purposefully doing something, but they are in the background, they don't come in the front. So uh, all the things, bad things are happening in this way. So the divine message is purposeful, and all other fields are purposeless. So you see that I simply say that if socio-economical structure is maintained in the entire world, there is no chance of having any disease, mental disease, or if we take care for the agriculture, if this system is prevailed, so I can tell you the truth that most of the physical and most of the diseases would be under control. So they are actually, the style is created in this world that people are bound to contract different sorts of diseases. Actually, the diseases are first produced. People can live without drinking wine. People can live without taking pork. I don't have any religious thing. I don't want to preach any religion at all. I tell you the truth. Actually, this why hypocrisy takes place when the people are denying their duties. Every person has been entrusted with the duty, with certain duties. When the people don't follow the code of life, when they remain arrogant, greed is there, selfishness is there, arrogance is there, proudness is there, jealousy is there. So if these are the things, so the religion that would be, the thing that would be created, sorry, the thing that would create, that would be hypocrisy. No, now you see that hypocrisy is everywhere. What is hypocrisy? So it's the same thing. The hypocrisy is when we righteous deeds are not performed. This results in the hypocrisy. It's everywhere. So the code, the actually the code, this has preserved the history. History is actually the same. All the times are the same. but they are modified different countries. Actually, when, for example, in some other country, any one country took over the charge of any other country, this is not the fault of the entire country, but it is undertaken by certain number of people who are mischievous in nature, who just they are they are actually rascals. These rascals can't lead their life unless they just create mischiefs in wherever they can easily do it. So what they do, they invade some other country, but this is not the fault of the entire country. Only certain number of people they do it, and then definitely they just give the greed to other people. They just attract the other people that you will get this sort of benefit. So after all, human being, they shouldn't accept those things, but they accept it, and this is how the things are multiplied. Okay, so many things. So I see that plenty of money is spent on making the sculptures and different artificial things. Sculptures and different artificial things are created, so the same money could be utilized to enhance the worth of the world or the nation or of the country. There are so many deprived people. Why don't we spend the same money for the sake of those people? So what will be the purpose of constructing a, a sculpture? So actually, the we can't. You see that we invade other country. We can't invade any other country, particularly invading the neighboring countries. Fight against the neighboring country is definitely, this is unnatural. You can invade any other country just for one reason, that if injustice prevails there, if innocent people are victimized there. But otherwise, if then again, if you fight against some other country, you think that your country is free of all sorts of injustices. If you are pretty sure that you don't have any such problem in your country, all the people in your country, they are prosper and they are passing through the or they have they have been given proper rights, and they are not being exploited, and that injustice is not done to them, only then there is, this is only one reason, then you can just invade the countries, invade some other country. But if at all their injustice prevails in that country, then it becomes inevitable. But this is not the duty of just one nation to fight against them, but this is the duty of the entire world to come and do it. Don't give value to the dreams. So you see that these are the things. I again say that I'm not formal. I'm not going to give you any formal message. This is a reality, and please try to embrace the reality.